Eraserhead, a 1977 American experimental horror film directed by David Lynch. Now this is Henry Spencer, with hell going in and out of his mind. He is so much a dull one and a weirdo. He reflects the anguish that hell brings to him with that darderest noise of the place. Now hell is floating there in space, waiting for Henry's soul. And Henry is unaware of what awaits him later. That dry, dark and sterile hell, sounding like hellish shows, closely reveals that the devil hides there and plans his sick game with Henry. The devil is there with the limbs of the lamb, and with them creates the extreme hellish seed that comes out of Henry to fertilize his girlfriend. Henry must adapt his naivety and his shy attitude, that of a dull one, and forget heaven in that place, because that place is hell and not heaven at all. The seed came out of Henry and entered his girlfriend, making her pregnant. The question is, Henry and his girlfriend do not want any breeding. It will be an unexpected baby. Now Henry moves through that place where everything is ruinous and dusty, with that sound of industry. Moving all through decay while feeling distressed. He is such a dull one, really. Now he is heading home. He feels nervous and out of place. He is afraid of everything, and he is not as hard as it takes to deal with that way of life. Now he arrives at his building, and a hellish woman, his neighbor, speaks to him in the corridor. She is a temptation, and he does not react very manly, but as a shy weirdo living in his internal world. Now in his room, he plays some record and takes time to sit on the bed, seeming lost and tired of everything that life is in that place. It is as if he wants to escape from that way of life soon, because he feels that the world in that place is noisy and distressing. Now he sees the broken photograph of his girlfriend. Now we see that girlfriend in the window of the door of her house, looking out. She looks like another very shy and introverted dull one. Henry is now walking towards her home. He walks afraid of everything and worried a lot. Now he arrives in front of the girlfriend's door. They talk, and it seems that some time has passed since the last time they met. She tells him that dinner is ready. They are not the perfect couple, and they both feel that a baby would be unexpected, something that maybe that kind of two people would not know how to handle. Now on the floor of the living room, there is a bitch nursing her puppies. They are both sitting there with her mother. Henry is currently on vacation. He works in a printing house. The mother looks at Henry without much confidence. Now her father appears. He is very much a weirdo, and his wife makes him leave the living room. Now the couple is sitting there on the sofa and they both feel uncomfortable. The mother is preparing dinner and everything is very decadent like hell. It's time for dinner and Henry has to cut the chicken to eat. He cuts it, and while doing so, the chicken moves and bleeds. This bleeding is a precedent of the bleeding of his already born son, because his baby is going to look like an animal more than a human. While the chicken moves, her mother makes a movement and a sound with her mouth, as if it were a lamb. Henry does not know for now about that baby born his son with that girl, but he will know everything now. The girl's mother asks him if they can talk for a while. The girl is crying. Henry goes to a room where her mother asks him if they have had sexual intercourse. She insists, and he feels ashamed but finally admits it. Now the old woman tries to kiss him on the neck, and he cannot even disown her without the help of the girlfriend. The mother says that they should go to the hospital and pick up the baby there so that it is with them. The girl asks him if he does not mind marrying her, and he tells her that he does not care. He agrees to marry her now that there is a baby born to them. Now his nose is bleeding. And bleeding, he does not know that it will be a bloody affair with the baby later. Now they are at Henry's home. The baby is a lamb without limbs. She tries to feed him but to no avail. Now Henry checks the mail and leaves the place. By mail he has received a dry seed. That is the seed of hell, the one that conceived the lamb, because the devil wanted Henry to commit that extremity, killing his son. Now Henry watches the radiator in his room while the baby cries and his girlfriend tries to feed him. There some kind of stage is radiating for a few seconds. The sound around is terrible and unpleasant. It is totally hellish. Now it is night and the baby cries again and again. Now in the room, Henry takes the infernal seed received by mail and puts it inside a small toy stage that is there. Now they are both in bed trying to sleep. He tries to touch her, and she reacts by rejecting him. They are both lying awake and the baby never stops crying. She gets up and screams at the baby never stops crying. The girl decides to leave the place. She leaves and tells him to take care of the creature until she returns. The creature is a lamb. It is a good sign, because a lamb is not really something diabolical. But it was created in a way that means Henry does not correspond to that place. Finally, it is a creation of the devil, a lamb that makes all of them sick. The place is too dark, barren, and dry to receive a creature like that one. Now the creature has a fever, it will get worse later, it is necessary to worry about its health. Suddenly it is totally sick. It has rashes on its skin. Henry now uses a kettle with boiling water to make it easier for the creature to breathe. Now he is looking at the little toy stage. He gets dressed. He tries to go outside, but the reaction is the same. The baby looks very bad. He seems more and more sick as time passes. Now Henry lies down on the bed. He stares at the radiator again. Suddenly, a stage radiates from there, a small stage where the action happens. There is a woman who is not really from heaven, but acts heavenly while killing the seeds on the floor. She pushes Henry to kill his son, and so he would lose heaven in the afterlife, but his current life would be less hellish. The woman is hellish, pretending to be as if from heaven. Now Henry is lying in bed. He sees the seed that was sent to him in the mail. It moves along the wall. That was the original seed that created the lamb, the most uncomfortable and unadaptable creature in that place where they live. But maybe it is because the future was lost the day the devil decided to teach Henry what it means to be a man. And Henry had better kill the creature, because it is nothing more than a way of testing Henry by the devil. Because the devil now plays again. Now the neighbor wants to flirt with Henry. She is hard and adapted to that environment. He is more of a dull one, always doubtful. She observes everything at his place. Observes the creature, and feels that it is the weirdest thing she has ever seen. It's like she wants to have sex with Henry because she feels that it will help him distance himself from the anguish. She intends to spend the night there with him. They finally kiss each other. Now they are in bed, and the bed becomes like a container full of milk. They kiss long and deeply, and finally they both immerse themselves in the milk and stop being seen. Now on stage there is action again. There the woman acts like she is from evil. She acts and sings. In heaven everything is fine, you have your good things and I've got mine. There are no seeds to trample now. Henry manages to get to the stage with the woman. She pushes him to kill his son and he will lose heaven. But his world will be worse if he does not kill the baby. He feels violence. Suddenly a tree enters the stage. Now Henry loses his head. Where his head should be is the head of the crying lamb. And Henry's real head is on the floor with blood coming out of the base of the tree. This can be taken as a bleeding family tree and with beheading at the end. A naughty boy takes the head of that misfit and brings it to a pencil factory. There they are interested. They buy the head, and from the head they make an eraser for the pencils. His head is used to erase, as erasure is that dull one of that infernal place. The devil wanted to make him commit the killing of his son. Now the dull one is in hell as he was before, because God is absent. And the devil directed everything in that godless place. Now it seems that everything was a dream while he was sleeping. Now he is standing in his room. He sees two men fighting in the street through his window. He thinks about leaving the room because the baby is asleep. The neighbor does not answer at her door. Now he is in the room again. The baby lamb is laughing. He seems to laugh at Henry. Now Henry is lying on the bed. He feels clearly distressed. He jumps out of bed. He must get out of there now. He opens the door and finds the neighbor having some sexual action with an unknown man. Henry reacts in a childish way. Now in his room, he is telling the lamb that he wants to do something about all this. He takes a pair of scissors. Now he is going to cut the clothes that surround the body of the baby without limbs. He continues to cut the clothes covering the body. When he does, the clothes are opened and the guts are seen. The man cuts a gut and now something is wrong with the creature. Finally, Henry did what the devil wanted from him. The lamb is dying slowly. Its head becomes bigger and bigger, and it is dying. Finally, its head explodes, and it looks like that barren planet that means hell. That dry and sterile planet. Now Henry sees the devil there, moving those lamb limbs. Now we see Henry dancing with that false angel on the stage, where she really performs for the devil. Because she always wanted him to trample the seeds and kill them. But finally, the creature saw his head turned into that barren planet, with an opening that has swallowed everything. Now the lamb is in hell. And Henry hugs the woman acting like a false angel, and she belongs to hell. Now it seems that Henry is going to feel heaven and how it is, but he will be in this life, surrounded by all that chaos and distortion. And after his death he cannot tell if heaven awaits him, or if the dead lamb awaits him in hell. For now, he remains in that place that is closely similar to hell after all.